So crispy roasted red potatoes part 2. Alright, so the potatoes were soaked. Put them in a strainer. You want to strain them out. Rinse them off with some water just to get any excess starch that might still be left there. You take the potatoes from the strainer and you put them on, I put them on a cutting board with 2 paper towels underneath. You'll then take other paper towels and you'll just pat them down. And I usually let them sit. These have been sitting about 5 minutes. So just to let the air get at them and get some of that moisture soaked up. And then what you'll do at that point is you'll put them in a bowl. Not real hard. Now that they're all in a bowl, you're going to want to take a little olive oil. You're going to put that olive oil. You can be generous with it, but you don't have to go crazy because it will coat. So that was probably about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You're going to put a little bit of salt. And this is all to what you like. However you like to season it with your stuff, and that's how you're going to do it. We like to use garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and some basil. That's the onion powder. We'll do a little basil in there. And I'll probably add a little more seasoning once it goes on the pan. But after you do all that, what you're going to do is you're going to mix it all up, and then you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You could go 375, 400. I like to cook mine a little bit slower. But usually do about 350, and depending on the size of the cubes you cut, will depend if it cooks for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, or an hour. Now this is what it looks like after it's been mixed out of the bowl, in the bowl, and now it's been transferred to a baking sheet. Always put olive oil or some kind of grease on your baking sheet with these, because otherwise if you don't, they'll all stick to the pan. I might not get out of this. They might still stick to the pan. And I also said put the oven at 350, put it at 400 just to be safe. Mine are cut a little bigger. They're not real tiny, and want to make sure that they cook through and through, but you want to get that crispy. So put the oven at 400. Mine's almost preheated. And so once that's preheated, we'll throw it in the oven. Alright, so now that the oven is preheated to 400 degrees, I added some extra seasoning on top. Look how beautiful that looks. And this is the London broil that looks pretty darn well as well. We're going to throw these bad boys in the oven. Alright. Now, I know I cut these a little bigger, so we are going to set the timer for 40 minutes at 400 degrees just to check them. Really what will happen is that I'll come in and check them at 40 minutes, turn them, and then I'll probably cook them for another 20 to 30. But we'll see what happens when they're done. See you then.